Welcome back to Deep Dive. We take your sources, we break them down, and pull out the key insights.
That's the plan.
So today, we're tackling a question. Can a game really put you, like in early 1900 Sicily? Feel the grit, the whole atmosphere?
Yeah, it's a tall order. We're diving into a pretty thorough review of Mafia, the Old Country Standard Edition for the PS5.
Right. And we're not just looking at the score, the verdict. We want to get into how it builds that immersion everyone talks about. You know, the visuals, the story.
Exactly, the story of Enzo Favara. We'll peel back the layers on what makes his journey so, well, gripping. Look at the design choices, some bold ones.
And maybe where it doesn't quite hit the mark.
Yeah, and where it perhaps stumbles a bit too. It's this really interesting mix of brutal crime, loyalty, ambition, but also kind of beautiful in its own way.
It sounds like a deep dive into how a game can really transport you.
It really is.
Okay, so let's get into it. The review suggests this standard edition. It throws you right into this pretty unforgiving Sicilian world.
Straight in, no messing around.
And it seems like the focus is really on that core story.
Yeah.
If you're someone who just wants Enzo Favara's journey, like raw and unfiltered, from, what was it, forced labor to becoming part of this Torrisi crime family, this version sounds like the direct route.
Yeah, the review definitely leans that way. It prioritizes the substance, you could say.
Yeah.
Less flash, more story.
And right away, the visuals seem to make a big impression.
Oh, absolutely. The review highlights this this striking visual identity. You've got these like beautiful sun-drenched vineyards, crumbling ruins, really evocative stuff. But then you also have the flip side, dark, gritty, shadowy alleys in the towns.
So it's not just background.
No, not at all. It feels very deliberate, like a visual metaphor maybe, for Enzo's own conflicts, the moral gray areas he's living in.
Huh. That's clever, using the setting itself to tell part of the story.
Exactly. It makes the place feel like another character. And Enzo's journey, it's not just, go here, do this. It's presented almost cinematically.
With real emotional weight.
Yeah. The writing seems to blend that personal drama with the kind of classic mob story intrigue really well.
Okay, so the look and the story are strong. What about the feel? The action?
Right. The immersion carries over into the combat. The review talks about this tension.
How so?
Well, you've got options. You can be sneaky, right? Close-up, silent takedowns with the stiletto. Classic stuff.
Ooh, intense.
Or you can go loud. Period-accurate, guns blazing. But either way, there's this constant sense of danger. Real stakes.
You feel the shift then between quiet and chaos.
Definitely. Those sharp transitions are highlighted. Tense, quiet, then sudden explosive violence. It sounds quite visceral, impactful.
And it's not just the fighting, right? The review mentioned other details.
Yeah, those little tactile things. The sounds, the feel of moving around, like driving and just getting about.
The cars. I remember reading about those.
Exactly. Riding a horse on cobblestones or, driving one of those rattling old turn-of-the-century cars. It's not just getting from A to B.
It adds to the atmosphere.
Hugely atmospheric. And the review makes this interesting point. The vehicles feel a bit clunky.
Which sounds like a negative.
You'd think so, but apparently it kind of works. It adds to the authenticity. It makes you grapple with how things were back then. Not smooth and easy like modern games.
So the clunkiness actually deepens the immersion. That's counterintuitive.
It is, but it makes sense when you think about grounding you in that specific time period.
And sound design plays a big part too, I gather.
Oh, massively. The review really praises the audio. Sicily sounds alive.
Like how?
Just ambient stuff. Street chatter, maybe an Italian or Sicilian dialect, wagon wheels on stone, distant music. The review mentions hearing opera drifting through the night air.
Wow.
Yeah. And the actual score, the music, is apparently quite restrained but effective. It underlines the big moments without being, overbearing.
Plus good voice acting.
Seems so. Convincing performances, which means conversations, confrontations, they all carry more weight. So for you, listening, if you appreciate games pushing beyond just graphics.
This focus on audio for historical immersion sounds pretty compelling.
Exactly. It's a different way to achieve that sense of place.
Okay, so strong visuals, compelling story, immersive sound and feel. But it's not perfect. You mentioned stumbles.
Right. No game is perfect. The review does point out a couple of things. Pacing seems to be one.
How so?
Apparently, there are some slower sections, maybe mid-game, that feel a bit drawn out. It kind of slows the momentum leading up to the big finale.
Okay.
Anything else? And some gameplay loops. You know, certain types of missions, maybe fetch quests or some fights, start to feel a bit repetitive after a while.
A lack of variety there.
Yeah, a touch of that. And maybe some characters or side stories could have been fleshed out a bit more to really ramp up the emotional stakes even higher.
But hold on, if the pacing lags or quests get samey, doesn't that risk breaking the immersion you were just praising? Pulling you out of that world?
That's the key question, isn't it? And it's a fair point. The review acknowledges those lulls, the repetition.
So how does it square that?
Well, it seems the strength of the main story, Enzo's personal struggle, that often manages to pull you through the rougher patches.
The writing carries it.
It sounds like it. That core conflict, loyalty versus ambition, morality, it keeps you invested. The interactions with key figures like Don Torrisi.
The boss?
Yeah, the boss. Or the consigliere, the underboss Luca. Those relationships are apparently full of tension and intrigue. They keep drawing you deeper into that world of difficult choices and potential betrayal.
Even if the mission you're doing at that moment feels a bit familiar.
Exactly. The narrative power seems to often override the mechanical shortcomings based on this review.
Okay, so connecting back to the standard edition, the value proposition there is you get the whole story.
Pretty much. It's the complete, unfiltered narrative experience. No bonus gear, no cosmetic stuff like in fancier editions.
But if you just want the core game, Enzo's journey, start to finish.
This seems like the way to go, especially if you value that substance over extras. The review really lands on it being an excellent atmospheric entry. A brutal but also beautiful look at that world.
Right. So wrapping this part up, what's the takeaway for you, the listener? We've dug into Mafia, the Old Country.
Yeah, an experience that gets a lot of praise for atmosphere, storytelling, that immersive feeling. It paints this really vivid picture of early 20th century Sicilian crime.
And yeah, there may be some minor bumps, pacing, mission variety.
But the review stresses how well it captures Enzo Favara's turmoil, those complex relationships with characters like Don Torrisi and Luca.
So for anyone drawn to that powerful cinematic story, rather than, extra bells and whistles.
The standard edition really seems to deliver that complete, focused journey into a world where loyalty and betrayal are just two sides of the same coin.
Which leads us to a final thought. When a game does this, immerses you so effectively in a time and place, and through all those details, the rattling cars, the silent takedowns, the distant music, does it change how you think about that history or the character's morality?
That's a great question. What actually sticks with you after you've stepped into such a vividly recreated past? Does it challenge your perceptions?
Something to think about.